Can you share the top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far?
Pause. We're all always very busy with our lives. Whatever position we have in life, if we're younger, we have school. If we're older, we have work. There's always a lot of things to do, and our days go by with everyday life.
And what was the inspiration behind founding the Jaguar Path School? And how has your vision evolved over the years?
That's a beautiful question because it's the mission of my life. So I'm always happy to answer that.
Your personal power animal.
My power animal?
Yeah.
I remember I'm a martial artist. I'm going to say dragon. And I know that could be confusing for some, but I'm going to say it with confidence.
Over to you. My next one is what advice would you offer to someone who are struggling to let go of the past relationships or old habits that no longer serve them? So folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording, and we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak, and here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future, and we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. So folks, today I am honored to introduce 2 eminent guests in our virtual studio today. And first is Ray Crist, who is the founder of the Jaguar Path School of Shamanism, Yoga, and Tai Chi. And Ray's journey began with a personal battle against a terminal cancer, which led him to explore the powerful healing practices of shamans from around the world, right from the NIH to the jungles of Peru.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
And his unique fusion of modern medicine and ancient wisdom now empowers people across the globe to heal, thrive, and also unlock their full potential. Ray has taught at world-renowned centers like Kripalu and the New York Open Center, sharing profound tools for energy cultivation, self-discovery, and personal power. And coming to Nina Crist, she's the director of the Jaguar Path, and she's a martial artist with over 27 years of experience. She's a healer and a teacher, known for her dedication to making ancient practices accessible to modern individuals from all walks of life. And Nina has explored various martial arts styles, including karate, aikido, jiu-jitsu, tai chi, qigong, and kung fu. And she holds a black belt and also the title of master. As a director of the Jaguar Path School of Modern Shamanism and the Science of Healing, she combines her extensive multidisciplinary martial arts experience with a passion for sharing the transformative powers of ancient wisdom. So today we are going to delve deep into their transformative teachings. But before we get started, here is an exciting twist. Let us tickle our guest's brain. So Ray and Nina, I'm going to open a few random words. And first 5 words are to you, Ray. And as and when I mention those words, you have to mention or respond with whatever that response comes to your mind in response without thinking much. And after Ray, it will be your turn, Nina. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. Okay. So here comes the first word, Ray. It is to you. Curiosity.
Curiosity. I am always curious. I am a student of life. In my 40 years of training with Chinese medicine and shamans, renowned shamans of the world, and having a school, I am still curious and I am still learning, and I will always be curious and always be learning.
Student for life. Amazing. And next word is invention.
Invention.
Invention. We need to always reinvent ourselves.
Mhm.
Life, as we see it and we say who I am, we need to understand that we're not something static. I'm not the 5-year-old Ray, the 10-year-old Ray, or the 20-year-old Ray. We need to realize that we reinvent ourselves constantly, and we're free to do so.
Okay. Future.
Future.
Brilliant, beautiful, sunny,
Amazing.
and
Energy.
everything within it.
Yeah, sorry. Go
Energy,
ahead.
Yeah, energy.
energy, cultivating and keep in movement, your body in movement. So the energy is always moving. Never stagnate, never stop.
Hmm?
Never let that energy stagnate.
Love it. And the last word is book.
Book.
Almost published.
Love it.
I have two books that are finished, and I'm right there. I'm right there. So I hope within the next time we meet, your podcast will be about the books. Give me a couple months, I'll be right there.
Looking forward to it. And thank you, Ray, for participating in this. And over to you, Nina. And the first
Okay.
word for you is universe.
Universe, expansion, blissful, infinite.
Mhm. Leadership.
Leadership. Leadership starts with self leading and becoming the master of your own life, and then modeling that to others.
Okay. Role model.
Role model. I like that role model in the sense of what you want to see in the world. Practice within your own self and in your family and in your own community.
Mhm. Spirituality.
Spirituality, in my interpretation, is when we can be kind even when we are facing hardship and difficulty.
Amazing. And here comes the last word, success.
Success is how you define it. If you are happy, if you are thriving, if you are inspired and feeling enthusiastic in your day, in my opinion, you are successful.
Amazing. And I love your composure. Awesome. And thank you both for participating in the first rapid fire round. There is one more rapid fire round towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned. And Ray and Nina, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. Thank you so much for part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. How are you doing today?
We are really good. We're really happy to be here. We're honored to be here, Naveen. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
We're
pleasure to
happy
have
to,
you.
we're happy to start from our heart.
Yes.
Amazing. And let's get the ball rolling. So, Ray, here's the first question to you. So, can you share the top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far?
Top 3.
Top 3 things.
Yeah.
The first I would say is pause.
Mm.
Pause. We're all always very busy with our lives. Whatever position we have in life, if we're younger, we have school. If we're older, we have work. There's always a lot of things to do, and our days go by with everyday life. And if we don't pause, nothing will change.
Yeah.
So pause is the first one. Pause.
Mhm.
Take some time. The second one is realizing that in that pause that you're coming into discipline. And this was a big one and a difficult one for me. When I first took my first dive into yoga 25 years ago, I was reading the Yoga Sutras, and it says the discipline of freedom. And in a Western mind, I was like, well, which one is it? Is it discipline or is it freedom? For me, in my head, back then, I thought they were opposites, that there were contradictory terms. And I've come to realize that the only way to be free is to discipline yourself and to, in practice, in what we eat, in what we drink, how days go by. And the third one is, I would say, dare to get out of the box.
Mm,
Be daring. Explore out of the box. Explore life. Explore life.
awesome. And how about you, Nina? What is your success mantra?
My success mantra, I will say, in my years of practice and facing difficulty, challenges, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, the big thing for me was falling in love with myself and not feeling arrogant or self-centered, and a love that is pure and an affection and an acceptance of who I am in the moment, here and now, and to offer the kindness and the non-judgment and the space for to allow myself to become whoever it is that I want to become.
Yeah. Wonderful. And Ray, who is your guiding voice?
My guiding voice?
Who
Yeah.
is your guiding?
My guiding voice, haha, that's such a good one. My heart. My heart.
Okay.
I've stepped out of the voice. I feel that we have many voices in our head, and there's inside ourselves. The one voice I call the narrator, and it's that voice that has everything to do with collective consciousness, with community, with Facebook, Instagram. That voice that tells me what everyone else wants to hear. But my guiding voice is the voice of my heart.
Okay.
And I really have come to, in this place of really trusting what I feel in the center of my rib cage, physically feeling it and allowing that to guide me. What feels good, feels like love, what feels like right, I follow it. If my heart or I feel constriction in my chest, I say, no, that voice is saying, not that pathway, not doing that. Bow out and say namaste and walk away.
Good one. And how about you, Nina? Who is your guiding voice?
I would have to go. I will say my heart also, but what I'm feeling behind that even is nature. The ultimate teacher. That nature has been my ultimate teacher, and in that, allowing me to connect more deeply with my true nature, so that I can listen to my heart, as you were saying.
No, this is very profound. Like, nature is ultimate teacher, and in case if we are calm, I think we can listen to what nature is saying. Right? Amazing. All right. So this question is to you, Ray, and this is only specific to you. And can you share the moment when you first realized the power of shamanism and ancient healing during your battle with terminal cancer?
I remember it like it was yesterday, although it was 20 years ago. I was on my knees in front of an amazing shaman by the name of Don Francisco, a beautiful, renowned Quero shaman from the Andes of Peru. And I was on my knees because I was dying, and I had a 2-year-old boy back home that I felt would never get to meet his dad. And I said, please, Don Francisco, I'm dying. Can you please help me? Can you please heal me? And Don Francisco leaned in, he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, I cannot heal you, but I can train you to become a shaman, and you can heal yourself. At that moment, I stood up on my feet. And it was a moment after 3 years already in the battle with cancer, with surgery in the National Institute of Health, with fear, with terror. It was the first moment that I realized that I am a shaman too, and I can learn and I can be that.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And Nina, this is to you. And what are some key tools or practices from shamanism that you believe everyone should integrate into their daily lives for empowerment?
Well, I will share what immediately comes to mind is what I would share with someone that came to the dojo as a martial arts student in my earlier years. And now I understand how martial arts is a form of shamanism. And what I would share with everybody, and I would share it from children to all the way up into when we come into the later years of our life, is our sacred boundaries. We have three levels or three dimensions of boundaries. And each of those boundaries we can practice having that awareness. And so the first one is your intuition. You can't see it, but the more we practice listening to our intuitive knowing, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, it atrophies if we don't use it. And if we lean in and start listening to that inner voice, it becomes stronger and more clear. And then once we feel something, we kind of pick our head up and we have our visual circle. We look around, we pay attention. We look for clues of why we're feeling a certain intuitive feeling, whether we're walking down the street in an unknown place. And then that last circle that of awareness, that last sacred boundary is your arm's length distance. And we always have permission to move. And I think that's a really powerful, it sounds simple to say, but sometimes when we feel uncomfortable, we freeze and we become paralyzed in an awkwardness, in a subtle fear. And so when we can truly listen to these sacred boundaries, then we can live in this space of not only sacredness, but in a feeling of safety, and feeling of confidence that we have the ability to really hold the reins of our life and not be being pushed and pulled from external circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. And Ray, again, this question is to you. So I'm curious to understand what was the inspiration behind founding the Jaguar Path School, and how has your vision evolved over the years?
That's a beautiful question because it's the mission of my life. So I'm always happy to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
In my third year of being an apprentice of 3 shamans, Don Francisco, especially my first teacher, said, "Okay, now Ray, you're ready to teach." And I said to him, "But me, how am I going to teach all this?" And he said to me, "You will teach it in English." The idea was that, of course, besides translating the Spanish and the Quechua that I was learning with all this with Don Francisco and the other shamans, is the idea was basically create a school that translates the mechanisms behind the magic. So it's one thing when we see a shaman with a rattle or a crystal or a feather. For me, before I met them, I thought it was magic. And in a way it is, but because I was dying, I couldn't rely on faith or something that I couldn't see. So I was digging in and asking the questions, and I've come to realize the quantum physics behind it, the science, the mechanisms behind it. So I visualized the Jaguar Path because Francisco told me that this is what I need to teach. He actually said, "So, okay, now you're more cancer-free. If you want to remain cancer-free, you have to start teaching.
To share.
You have to share everything. You can't keep it for yourself." So I'm sharing it with the world. And through the last 16 years of sharing with the Jaguar Path, we've shared with thousands of people living in America, teaching out of a very big yoga center, Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health, for 15 years. Then 3 years we lived in Costa Rica. We were sharing out through Blue Spirit, a very big center also. And again, all this now online. And now from Greece, we're at the center of Epidavros. In front, our home is in front of the healing temple of Hippocrates and Asclepius. The mission is to share with everyone the innate ability of the body to heal and the innate wisdom that the mind has to shift and to use that wise voice rather than the narrator I was referring to earlier. Switching into a positive channel and really knowing that you can be a warrior in life. And in moments of difficulty, really source from nature, from heart, and bring in that bravery and step up and offer the gift that every human being has, the bravery and the shamanic power, which I feel is innate to all of us.
Got it. And Nina, over to you. My next one is like, what advice would you offer to someone who are struggling to let go of the past relationships or old habits that no longer serve them?
That is so that is such a good question, because I think so many of us find ourselves in points of life where it's like, wait a second, how did I get here? One thing leads to another, and then you find yourself in a moment where you're not aligned, you're not feeling inspired. And so in those moments of acknowledgement of those kind of aha, even if it's not a comfortable feeling, what is the exit? How can I step out of a situation, of a circumstance that no longer is serving me, that I don't feel aligned with? And kind of going back to where you said, what's the guiding voice? Say, really start to feel into each moment. What do I like? What, if there's an option of a choice, what feels right to my body, to myself? And giving yourself permission, and this is a big one, giving yourself permission to step out of the collective way of doing things. You have to do X, then Y, then Z. And if you don't, you're a failure. And I think we can all step back and say, according to who? If I am not honoring myself, if I am betraying myself, then what else ultimately matters, right? And so I think for each one of us, taking the steps out of an unhealthy relationship, unhealthy career, an unhealthy living environment, whatever it is that we find ourselves in, small steps, a simple shift in a new direction, and then patience. And really knowing that as we make those small shifts, big changes are happening. And to believe in that and to trust that and have the patience to witness the transformation. Big changes don't happen in an instant. They happen by smaller habits that become habituated.
Mm-hmm. So small shifts and also dealing with patience. I think those are the two important things. Awesome. And Ray, in shamanic teachings, right? How do these power animals assist us in understanding ourselves and also navigating life?
You know, it's shamanic power animals are an amazing way to navigate life. There is a myth that humans decided that we are the best or most important mammal on the planet, and that is by far not true. If you walk in the jungle in Peru or in India, you will quickly find that we are not the best mammal. There's jaguars, tigers, there's a lot of animals that are superior to us in many ways. So, and that's a part of the Western world that we were cut off. Like during the Dark Ages in Europe, there was this campaign for 500 years of prosecuting the feminine, the power animals and the magic. So we've come into this place in reality, which has really kind of become the status quo in the last 100 or 200 years, that we are here, we're the best, we own this planet. And the rest of the animals are here to either work for us or to be our food or to work for us in the field or to be our entertainment. And the problem with that is that it puts us on the top, which again is not realistic and not true. When you start working with power animals and you start looking into the lives, the way animals live, the way they create the nest, the way they find their food, the way they mate, the way they travel, you come into a source of navigating life like never before. So different power animals can give you different powers. For me, obviously, you all know the jaguar is my first power animal, and that's why I've created the Jaguar Path. When Jaguar first came into my life, it first helped me when I was going into an NIH to do CAT scans and MRIs. And before, I was so scared. I was alone in the world. I was really afraid of what the results were going to be, etc. But after going into Peru and coming back with his work, I would start going into these visits and my CAT scans, MRIs with my big jaguar next to me. It changed the experience radically. Let me give you another example. It's just like going into, to interview for a new job. There's one way you go in and you're alone, you and whatever have as your bio that you've given to the person that you're interviewed by. Or you can walk in, say, with your wolf next to you, with your jaguar, with your bear next to you. Now, what that does, it's like, okay, I don't go around thinking I'm not crazy. I don't think there's a jaguar next to me. But I'll tell you what, there's a jaguar next to me. And I always remember it in my heart and in my body. When you go into that interview and you have your wolf next to you, your whole endocrine system, your whole hormonal reality changes. And the person that is interviewing you sees a powerful person, a clear person, a confident person, because you're there and you are all that. You're powerful, you're confident, you're at ease. You have your ally that is right there supporting you in all of that. And then there's times that I need to go to serpent. If there's something I need to change, the serpent has taught me how to shed my skin, that I can actually change something, right? When I need to have no fear, again, I go to the jaguar. Sometimes I'm emotionally entangled in a situation then I can call upon my condor or my eagle, and I can rise above, high above, and not be emotionally entangled anymore. Rise above and see the greater picture with discernment, with clarity. So overall, the paranormal work is as amazing. And while I was learning it through the shamans, at the same time, every time I would come back home, I would watch all the documentaries and learn about how animals live. And I realized that I am a mammal too, and I am not necessarily superior to any other. And every other animal could be my teacher.
Yeah.
And you know that, I'll say this, not to make it too long-winded of an answer, but I love animals, I love animals. Just think of the feeling you have that we have when we have a cat that comes and purrs in our lap, or when we have a dog that's running towards us, wagging their tail. There's a deep connection in every human. Or when you're out walking and you see a wild animal, your whole body lights up.
Yeah.
Your whole energy lights up. There is something in that, in the relatives, the other animals, and the other mammals, that really awakens something really deep inside us. Maybe even in our spine itself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Love that.
Got it. And Nina, this question is to you. Any myth, biggest myth related to shamanism that you would like to bust?
Biggest myth related to shamanism.
That you like
Yeah.
to bust.
Bust. That shamans are people that live far away, that are mythical, that are out of our reach or beyond our ability to achieve a. I feel the word itself holds so much, I want to say, stigmatism, connotation, denotation. Like there's just so much. It's a loaded word. So if we step back from that word and say, as human beings, we are knowers, we are seers, we are awakened beings. Where are you on the spectrum under that? And how can you step out of a space of being complacent, uninspired, somewhat foggy? How can you step out of that space and move into that space of the shaman, letting go of any attachment to whatever we've learned from media.
Okay, got it. And that's clear. And this has been incredible conversation so far. And it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode, which means we are stepping into the second rapid fire round. And for certain questions, I'll ask both of you. For certain questions, it will be individual. So you will get to know whom I am going to ask the question. Okay, the first question is to both of you. So this time we'll go with Nina first. Okay, so Nina, if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Love.
How about you, Ray?
Wow. Okay. I need a second to think of it. Be you. Authenticity.
Wow.
Authenticity.
Authenticity. Amazing. And can you describe yourself in just one word? Again, Nina first, then Ray.
Sincere.
Sincere. How about you, Ray?
Present and willing.
Hmm. Okay. Next word
Well,
is.
okay.
Next question is to Ray. One word that describes shamanism.
Affection.
Affection. Oh, amazing. And Nina, this is to you. The first thought that comes to your mind when you think of Peru.
Beauty.
Beauty. And okay. And this question is to both of you. First, we'll go with Ray. A must-read book for spiritual seekers.
Ooh, Untethered Soul
Untethered Soul, right?
by Sin. I think, is it Robert Sin?
Okay.
I think it's Robert Sin. Untethered Soul.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. And how about you, Nina?
I've got too many titles coming through.
Ah.
I'd say The Art of Peace by Master Yeshiva, Morai Yeshiva.
Okay. Arts of Peace. Okay. Amazing. And what is the most powerful healing tool you have experienced? This question is to Ray.
Most powerful healing tool.
The most powerful healing tool I've experienced has been cord cutting. A tool that allows to cut energetic cords from previous relationships.
Okay.
I feel for me, there was relationships in the past, a difficult divorce and relationships that had hurt me in the past, that although I had let go and I was moving, there were still energy cords that were holding me back to that. And that had alive triggers within me. And that kept on letting me to be in a loop of choosing the same person. So once I cut the cords, magic happened for me. One is that I was not leaking energy and I got all that energy back to myself.
Mhm.
And the other is that I stopped being in that loop of choosing the same person over and over again. I was free from that previous pattern, and I was able to see anew and to choose wisely.
Okay. Okay. And this question is to Nina. One lesson from shamanism that everyone should learn.
Stop dismissing the apparent.
Stop dismissing the apparent. Okay. And this is again to you because Ray has already answered to this one in the past in one of the previous responses. So this is to you, Nina. Your personal power animal.
My power animal.
Yeah.
I will. I remember I'm a martial artist. I'm going to say dragon, and I know that could be confusing for some, but I'm going to say with confidence.
Okay. Okay, here comes the last. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And here comes the last bullet, and this is to both of you. And first, we'll go with Ray. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
Just to invent myself.
Yeah, to see or invent yourself.
To invent myself. Wow.
Electronic gadget.
An electronic gadget. A Jeep, I want to see. It might already exist. It might already exist, but I love driving cars and motorcycles. I would like to have a drone that can drive ahead of me to show me the road half a mile ahead of it.
Okay. Nina, how about you?
Big question. My gosh, I don't use a lot of electronic gadgets. I guess there's probably exists. I don't even know. I'm thinking of something that can pull, and I'm like, it probably exists. Pull like any information, like pictures or, when you read a good book, like I want to be able to just have those, like those one-liners.
Summary. Yeah.
Like to just be able to extract those in an instant. That would be
Good one. Good one. I loved all your responses. And let's flip back to the mainstream. So, Ray, this is to you. One advice for someone on the edge of transformation.
on the edge of transformation.
One advice to say?
Yeah, one advice for someone who is on the edge of transformation.
Remember that every difficulty in life makes you stronger. Every time we're in pain, we grow through that and we become better, we become taller, and we become more loving.
Love it. How about you, Nina? Do you have any other advice?
On the edge of transformation, I would say trust yourself. Trust yourself and keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Putting one foot in front of the other. Amazing. So this is again a profound response, and I thoroughly enjoyed hosting you both on the show. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice podcast?
Naveen, this was the best, most fun experience. We love your energy, your spontaneity, your authenticity, and your really deep and essential questions. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you and so much for inviting us.
Thank you, and pleasure to host you, and looking forward to hosting you again in future. So I love the conversation, and I'm sure audience are going to enjoy this. All right, so
anytime you want, we'd love to see you again.
Definitely. So, friends, that was our episode with Ray, Crist, and Nina. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request in case if you have enjoyed the conversation just like I did and found it useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV. the guiding voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you have been growing. All right, now it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment, having had amazing conversation about shamanism and also Jaguar Path, an institute set up on an organization set up by Ray, and having had these two experts who are really proficient in Tai Chi and many more martial arts, I thought I would present you two lesser known facts about Tai Chi. Tai Chi was originally a martial art, and while most people today know Tai Chi as a slow, meditative form of exercise focused on balance and energy flow, it was originally developed as a martial art for self defense. And the flowing movements of Tai Chi conceal powerful martial applications designed to deflect attacks and use an opponent's energy against them. Second fact is Tai Chi improves cognitive function. Beyond physical health benefits like balance and flexibility, studies have shown that regular Tai Chi practice can significantly enhance brain function, and it has been linked to improvements in memory, attention, and problem solving, making it an excellent practice for mental clarity and preventive cognitive decline as we age. So that is it from my side from the trivia perspective. I would love to hear from you in terms of if you have heard any interesting facts related to shamanism or Tai Chi or any of the martial arts. In case if you're watching this episode, you can comment. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there. Or if you found this episode on some social media platforms or audio platforms, you can comment there as well. I would love to review what you have to say. So folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.